Hey guys, welcome back to another video of General Understanding. Today we'll be talking about bird definitions. Sorry about the background talking. Just ignore that. Okay, so we will be talking about the reproduction definitions. Okay, so the first one is monogamous. This means in the breeding season, they only have one mate at a time. Most birds actually are monogamous on the National Bird List of 2020. Now, polygyny is that polygyny means the male has more than one mate / many mates. They can have up to 5 mates, maybe even more. But not like they don't have that much. Sorry, let me rephrase myself. On the 2020 bird list, national bird list, they don't really none of the birds are really polygyny. Some of them are, but not like the majority. Not the majority. Now, polyandry means the females has more than one mate / many mates. Now that is more common than polygyny. Now, okay, let's move on to clutch size. Hopefully, I'm going the correct speed. Sorry if I'm going too fast. Anyways, clutch size is how many eggs the birds lay in one breeding season. For example, if a female lays 20 eggs in one breeding season, that is going to be the clutch size. Okay, so incubation period is the period from the laying of an egg to when the egg hatches. For example, when a female like mallard or duck lays an egg for 20 days and it hatches, 20 days is the incubation period. Now, altricial is when the newborn birds are helpless and depends on the parents' help. The complete opposite is precocial, when the chick or the hatchling opens its eyes immediately after hatching. Also, they don't rely on their parents as much as altricial newborns. In fact, they don't really rely on them. They just see how the parents forage or like search for food and stuff, and then the precocial chicks will learn. Okay, let's move on to brood parasite. Okay, so brood parasite is basically when a parent lays eggs in another nest. This causes the other parent to do all the work. So it's basically when a bird puts its egg in another nest, so it doesn't have to do the work anymore. Except the downside is some birds actually know if they can actually recognize their own eggs. For example, brown-headed cowbirds may lay their eggs in robins' nests, American robin's nest. Now, the American robin can actually may actually know that egg isn't theirs and may dispatch it or remove it from the nest. Now, okay, let's move on to behavioral definitions. Now, forage, that's pretty obvious. It's searching for food. This goes for any species because even we can forage in the it's called foraging when we search for food in the wild. Now, preening is when it cleans its feather with its beak. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. So I'm gonna move on to alloprene. Alloprene is when one bird preens another. This is what happens when they mate too, because they preen to each other. If a mate may preen another mate because they're mutual. Now, kleptoparasitism, or however you say that. I'm not really good on pronunciations, but the basic or the meaning of this word is they steal food from other birds. Now, this happens in some gulls, like the ring-billed gull and other gulls, but it also happens on bald eagles. Bald eagles steal food from other birds. Now, vagrant is when birds are found outside of the normal migration path. Basically, this means that they are outliers. Like, they aren't exactly supposed to be there, but sometimes it's normal to have vagrant birds. Now, roosting is when they go somewhere to rest or sleep. It's like when we go to our beds to rest or sleep. Now, that's basically a bird's roosting. Okay, so stoop is a fast movement downward when it is flying. A bird's fast movement downward when it's flying. So one example of this is a peregrine falcon. Now, a peregrine falcon is the fastest Animalia species, and it's fast. It's the fastest because when it stoops down or dives, it is really fast. Okay, let's work on structural definitions. Okay, so plumage is the color and arrangement of the feathers. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. It's like just like the feather type and the color and arrangement. Now, breeding plumage is the plumage of birds during the courtship or breeding season, also known as alternate plumage. Now, it's in the breeding season because the males need to attract the females. That's why males have more colorful plumage than females usually do. Now, cryptic plumage is plumage of a bird that is camouflaged. An example of this is not an American bittern, a Wilson snipe. And you might not know what that is. You can search it up. But all you need to know is a Wilson snipe has cryptic plumage, which makes it very camouflaged in its environment. Now, a crop is an organ where the bird stores food. For example, when an American robin eats a worm or grub or something, and it stores it in its crop, it can be used for later construction or consumption. Now, fledge is when the feathers and wing muscles are developed for flight. This happens in young because when they're born, they can't immediately fly. Not even the precocial chicks. They have to develop their wing feathers and their wing muscles. Now, molt is when the birds shed/replace the old feathers with new ones. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory because a lot of reptiles go through this too. Or not shed, it's called shed for reptiles. I'm not really sure, but let's move on to the next one. Nictitating membrane. This is a transparent or translucent third eyelid. A good example is peregrine falcon because I'm pretty sure they have 2 nictitating membranes. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. And the nictitating membrane helps them protect the eye because when they stoop down, a lot of air is pressuring on the eye, and the nictitating membranes help with that. Now, topography is the mapping of external features of the bird. For example, like the wing, the beak, and for us it would sorry. I had a brain fart for a second. Okay, so examples would be like the beak, wings, feathers, and possibly other things that are structural on the bird or external. Okay, so thank you guys for watching, and remember to